Hey, what's going on, guys? Today, I wanted to walk you guys through 3 of my favorite movements to add to your garage workouts. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to the channel where we're gonna talk about how to elevate your mind and body while living on a plant-based diet. Okay, so a few things that you're gonna need for this workout, pretty simple. I'm using a barbell. I'm also using a box for box squats, a plyometric box. If you don't have a box, no problem at all, but it's something that I'm using. We're gonna talk about why here in just a little bit. The last thing is a band, resistance bands. I'm using a thick green band. I believe it's like a 1.5 inch band. If you don't have that, that's okay too. You can always go find some. Maybe I'll link some in the description for you guys, but that's all you're gonna need. Nothing crazy, nothing complex, a little work ethic maybe, all right? But that's about it. Okay. Starting out the workout, one of the most important things is to warm up. So there are actually a few things I've done before I even got to the warm-up sets of the lift for our first lift, which are squats. All right, so make sure that you put an emphasis on getting your body ready. Everyone needs different things. I will be making a videos purely on lower body warm-ups, on some things that I'm specifically focusing on since I've had my knee surgery. My knee surgery was pretty extensive. And I'm really just working myself back. I suffered a tough patella tendon rupture, a full rupture, as well as a meniscus tear. It's about a 2.5 year recovery to get back to where I previously was before I got injured. So this is really just sharing a little bit of what I'm doing along the way of trying to get myself back into the routine. Okay, starting off, I started with some really lightweight on the bar. Even before I did the set of 135, I started with just like the barbell and then 95 pounds, just kind of working through range of motion, trying to see how I feel. It's so important to just get your body ready to go. Make sure that you're performing well, that you're nice and warmed up before you get a set. So make sure you warm up. Okay, so next I moved on to my working set, okay? The whole goal here was to do about 4 sets of whatever weight you have chosen, all right? That's pretty much what we're gonna do all of this. It's gonna be 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps for whatever weight you choose. Now that I found a weight that was really comfortable for me, I just went on ahead and worked there, and I just put an emphasis on feeling out some of the crevices, feeling out how my body was responding, seeing what was good, and then honestly just trying to reteach my body how to move. If there's an emphasis I would give here, it would be keeping your midline tight, your chest big, your shoulders back, and don't rush through any of the lifts. Okay, now this is something I really wanted to touch on. I had a little bit of trouble here, as you guys can see, squatting about 185 pounds. Now, previously, before I was injured, I was able to squat way more than that. Over 435 pounds was like my 1 rep, and I frequently would do 405 and heavier loads, but I'm unable to do that right now. And even while I'm trying to work myself back, I'm still having to find out what actually works for me. My body some days feels better, other days it doesn't. So I really just gotta listen to how my body feels and do whatever I can that day. It also puts emphasis on doing some other things like yoga, and some preventative measures are just that much more important. So I struggled here a little bit, but that's completely okay. I just listened to how my body felt. Even though I had a goal based off of what I'd done the previous week, I just went on ahead, deloaded, and then I moved on to a weight that I knew felt good for my body after testing it. All right, so now that I've found a weight that seemingly is gonna work good for me, I know that this is where I'll work from now on. You know, finding a setup between, actually being on a squat rack, working with a box, finding the right height as well as the right weights, it can be a lot. So I'm confident with this weight, it feels good. So now I know where to work at. I'm actually gonna stay here the rest of the time and complete a few more sets, because in total I'm also supposed to be doing 4 sets of 8 to 10 today. So I'll stay here for my other few more sets, and then I'll move on to the next lift. So I'm completely done now with the back squats, the 4 sets of 8 to 10. So now I'm gonna move on to close stance using 85% of the total that I got here. You're supposed to actually stay at that same stance, but I like to come in closer just so I get a different hit of those muscles. It's programmed a little bit different, but I kind of like to move it around to kind of feel it out. I used to hate close stance squats, now I love them. Well, I used to before I got injured. So that's why I like to move them in. So now we're gonna go 4 sets of 8 to 10 drop setting now. With our drop sets here, we've worked to a heavy, right? We've kind of filled it out, and now we're working our way back down. So we're gonna take 85% of what that heavy was for the day, or what your working sets were for the day. It's probably another way of explaining it in this program. And then now we're gonna continue for more sets. Now, we're not gonna continue to drop down. This is the only place that we're gonna go at 85% for 4 more sets, but that's what our goal is. All right, so just to give a little reference here, I'm gonna show you, when I was squatting before, my feet were about at this stance, so a little bit wider than shoulder width. So now with close stance, we're gonna be inside, somewhere inside. So some people like to be all the way in here. Some people like to be around here, as long as you're inside shoulder width. So that's what we're gonna have here for our foot position. Again, last set we were doing out wider, now we're gonna be inside shoulder width. Let's get it. I kind of want to share a little bit of the mindset with you. So something that I really am focused on, and if you're coming back from injury or you're even getting started, this is so vital. A lot of times I would be focusing about the weight that's on the bar now versus what I've had on the bar in the past. And what you got to understand is that doesn't matter. You need to really be paying attention to your body. If I feel myself swinging, kind of leaning to one side, or if I feel pain, or if I feel like I'm rushing a movement, I start slowing it down. You got to do the movement to find out what's comfortable and to find out what's best for you right now, and take your time, don't rush. It's a really big focus that I'm putting on. So I'm going to my last 3 sets, and I'm just trying to keep the mindset of performing quality reps. Next, we're moving on to the banded RDL. Honestly, one of my favorite lifts that you can do. It's fantastic for the entire posterior chain. We're talking back, we're talking glutes, we're talking hamstrings. And if you're someone who really doesn't know what it feels like to activate your hamstrings, this is a great lift for you, as well as anyone who's doing some high volume. When you're doing the banded RDL, you won't have the need to add in more weight necessarily, which will beat your joints up. And you'll have tension throughout the lift the entire time. It's one of my favorite lifts. Cannot underestimate it. All right, when I'm going through the lift, I really can feel it the entire time, and it's just one of my favorite lifts. With the banded RDL, this is a really cool way to get more weight. Pretty much you're gonna push more volume. The load's gonna be heavier. It's gonna be heavier at the top, a little bit lighter at the bottom, but it's gonna be a lot lighter on your joints because you're not actually adding more weight onto the bar. So it's a great way to do it. I'm using a lot in powerlifting, so I'll show you guys how I set it up. So all I'm gonna do is take the band and just drape the band over the bar. Then I'm just gonna step into the actual band itself, right? And so pretty much just like that. And now when I lift, as you can see, it's going to be stuck nice and secure in my feet, and it's a way for me to perform the lift. It's a really great way to set it up and get that band tension. If you don't have pins, you know what I'm saying, places for pins that are on your racks. So let's get it. The way that you're setting up the bands, all of that's gotta be pretty organized. So just make sure that you take your time in setting up, all right? It might be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but after that, you'll be pretty used to it. Okay guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope that you guys enjoyed these 3 movements, which were the box squat, the close stance box squat, which was what we deloaded to, and then going on to the banded RDL. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Go ahead and, maybe it's up here, go on ahead and go check out one of my other playlists, which has all the fitness videos that'll kind of give you guys some more tips and some things that you can do. Later guys. What's up guys? Welcome to my channel where we speak, my channel and welcome, okay, all right.